There we have the images coming in of the United States President Joe Biden, who has arrived in Saudi Arabia. It is a moment that has been closely watched from around the world for multiple reasons. First, given the criticism that Joe Biden has received for a U-turn when it comes to meeting the Saudi Crown Prince. His very arrival in Saudi Arabia with that direct flight coming in from Israel to the country has also been significant. This is the first flight ever taken by a U.S. president from Israel to an Arab state, especially since Saudi Arabia and Israel have not normalized ties. This also coming after Riyadh had paved the way for Israeli planes to use its airspace. The body language of the American president will be closely watched. He is already seen shaking hands with multiple leaders throughout his West Asia trip. This is also a shift from the White House decree earlier, which had said that he will not be shaking hands with the leaders following the COVID-19 decree. This visit is crucial, coming at a time when the U.S. has been fighting soaring inflation and oil prices, and that's the reason why Joe Biden's visit to Saudi Arabia carries far-reaching implications. Now, the countries have shared a significant relationship for over 70 years. Saudi Arabia had been a U.S. ally for over 70 years. They had a security for oil relationship which began about 8 decades ago. But a lot changed under Joe Biden when it comes to the relationship between the two sides. Remember, he had promised that he will be declaring the Saudi Crown Prince a pariah. He vowed that he will be isolating the Saudi Crown Prince. He did not even call Mohammed bin Salman and released intelligence reports on the journalist Jamal Khashoggi's killing, as well as documents looking into Saudi Arabia's connection to the 9/11 attacks. For multiple reasons, this visit is crucial given the criticism that Joe Biden has received following his U-turn in his decision to visit Saudi Arabia and meet the Saudi Crown Prince. U.S. President Joe Biden in Saudi Arabia. For our viewers who might just be tuning in, interesting to note the kind of body language that is on display at the moment. This is a meeting that will see the leader meeting the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He will be holding meetings with the Saudi Arabian King Salman. Now, this particular meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince has been one which has, of course, attracted criticism for the American president for multiple reasons, given that Joe Biden had promised that he will be turning Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Crown Prince, into a pariah. Following the journalist Jamal Khashoggi's killing, he had vowed revenge. But a lot has changed following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and which is why Joe Biden making his way to Saudi Arabia following the rising oil prices, something that he has been tackling back at home. Domestically, this is a visit which will also play out very significantly given the timing, given the criticism that he has received, and given that this comes ahead of the midterm elections. Now, at the start of Joe Biden's trip to West Asia, officials had said that he would be avoiding close contact like shaking hands as a precaution against COVID-19, but clearly he has broken that protocol multiple times already during his West Asia trip, and which is why his body language also when he meets the Saudi Crown Prince for that engagement will be watched very closely. And with that, Joe Biden's meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince has been the key focus of his West Asia tour. Saudi Arabia, like I just said, has been a U.S. ally for over 70 years. The two sides have had a security for oil relationship, which began 8 decades ago with Franklin D. Roosevelt and King Ibn Saud. Now, this relationship lasted through 14 U.S. presidencies until Joe Biden. Under the Biden presidency, a lot changed. He did not call the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He released intelligence reports on Jamal Khashoggi's killing, even documents looking into Saudi Arabia's connection to the 9/11 attacks. And since then, the U.S.-Saudi Arabia relationship has been on the rocks. But with this visit, it looks like Joe Biden is finally ready to make concessions. He was once dismissive of the prince, but now he clearly needs Saudi Arabia on his side. Clearly, this is a major climb down from his campaign promises. Meanwhile, MBS is on the verge of getting what he wants, recognition from the U.S. president. Now, what's in it for Washington? The Russian invasion has clearly changed a lot. The U.S. needs Saudi Arabia for oil again. Riyadh needs Washington for defense and security again. And currently, the U.S. president has a huge domestic liability. Gas prices have been surging in his country. And these are prices that Saudi Arabia could help lower. The Crown Prince is also young. He's likely to lead the kingdom for decades. So a reconciliation had to happen at some point. Reports even suggest Saudi Arabia could announce normalization during the visit, and Israel normalization could be Biden's prize for meeting MBS. A relationship with Israel would contribute to greater acceptance of Saudi Arabia. It will bolster MBS's vision to turn the kingdom into a global power. The two countries also share a common enemy in Iran. But despite these signs, it's unlikely that any normalization will happen soon. It's highly improbable that Saudi Arabia will recognize Israel while Biden visits the country or as long as King Salman reigns. This process will likely be long and gradual. First, the economic ties, then security partnership, and finally, the diplomatic recognition. For years now, Saudi Arabia has settled on one position, which is first to implement the two-state solution and then discuss normalization. But over the years, the kingdom's position has seen a shift spearheaded by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The Israel move could, however, be his biggest test so far. But right now, Saudi Arabia seems to be in no hurry.
الخاصي حيث مكان الصورة الخاصة.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.